I am back. I know it's been a while, but I'm still here. Hello, everybody. I'm the troublemaker, here to cause trouble with the truth. Now, I'm going to deviate a little bit from what I usually talk about here, and that's about pimps. And some of you all out there might be wondering, some of you all might not be. Doesn't matter, but some of you all might be wondering. Now, what is this brother like politically? You know, and I mention that because we had some events that happened last week that I would like to address. Last week, some woman named Sandra Fluke uh, stated, she's a law student at Georgetown, that she's 23 years old, and that, someone needs to pay for her contraception because she spends $3,000 a year on contraception. And, well, it turns out the woman is not 23 years old, but she is a 30-year-old worker for women's rights organizations. You know, they're the liberals again, trying to set things up to divert our attention from what is important. Now, there was someone who made a statement about uh, Miss Fluke's actions. Man, I don't know if anybody knows his name, if it rings a bell, a man named Rush Limbaugh, some kind of talk show host or something, called her a slut. And he received a lot of backlash about that statement. Seven advertisers have pulled their products off of his talk show and stupid stuff like that. And Rush Limbaugh, he kind of gave an apology for what he said. Now, my problem here is I would never apologize for telling the truth. The woman, if she is paying $3,000 a year for contraception, which I don't believe she is, but if she is paying that amount, she is a slut. And I know that's a strong word for a lot of women out there and everything, but if you out there just throwing yourself out there and everything and thinking someone's just going to have to pay for your contraception because you want to do the horizontal mambo with any man that you meet, well, I'm sorry. And forgive how slangy, if that's a word, how slangy the term sounds, you are a shameless slut. And Barack Obama, who's trying to show his little side, oh, I'm sorry for what that mean man said to you, and everything. Now let me tell you all, I'm gonna step aside, step a little out of the ordinary here. I'm gonna go off on one of my little tangents. Barack Obama has got to be the most butt kissingest president we have ever had. About a couple of weeks ago, some Qurans were burned, and here he comes. We're sorry, we're yada yada yada. He didn't. Once again, he didn't get all his facts straight before issuing an apology. And what was found out was that the Qurans contain radical writings, which it is a sacrilege to write in a Quran. And if your Quran has been written in, it has been desecrated, and it is subject to be burned. Now we got a bunch of people in Afghanistan who are rioting in the streets, killing people, killing innocent people because some Qurans got burned. And I'm like, must not be much to the Quran if it causes you to go into a tizzy because someone burns it. Because me being a Bible believer and everything, when I see someone burning a Bible, I'm like, burn all the Bibles you want. Burn all the Bibles you want. Because that's not going to take away the seed that the Bible has planted in my heart. So it must not be anything much to the Quran if you get all upset because someone sets it on fire or anything like that. But once again, our president, you know, he puts on the waterworks, so to speak, and he apologizes for their Qurans being burned. And once again, Mr. Obama moves before he gets any details about the situation. And back to this Sandra Fluke lady, there's a cry going out across the nation that women's contraception needs to be paid for because it's an area of women's health. Okay, if you want contraception, find a way to pay for it yourself. I, as a taxpayer, should not be made or forced to pay for your contraception because you want to go out there and be a slut. It is not my duty, and it has nothing to do with women's health. All contraception does is prevent a pregnancy. That has nothing to do with your health. What if a baby pops up inside of you, it's a cancer all of a sudden? That might work with Planned Parenthood, but that doesn't work in real life. Okay, so before liberals, you did a good job. You did a good job of diverting the attention away from the facts of what's going on in this nation. You come up with a non-issue. This woman comes out of nowhere, and I'm going to go out and say it. I believe this woman is a plant. Someone said, okay, I want you to say this. I want you to make these statements. Yada yada yada. We got to get the attention off of the negative side of Barack Obama. So we want you to bring this up. Now, isn't it funny? The liberals go all in a tizzy when a talk show host calls someone a slut. But this is Rush Limbaugh we're talking about, and he's a conservative. And everything negative the conservatives say, we got to analyze it with a fine-tooth comb. Now, I'm reminded not too long ago that a man named, you know what, sometimes these names escape me. I think his name is Bill Maher, called Sarah Palin and Michelle Bachmann a couple of bimbos. Oh, no outrage over that, because these are conservative women. They're conservative. They deserve to be called names and their character dragged through the mud. And from what I hear, Bill Maher has called them some even stronger words too, but no outrages over that. So why are we outraged about Rush Limbaugh? Now, Rush Limbaugh is going to be Rush Limbaugh. He's going to say things, but you people, I don't care how strong the wording is or anything like that. Never, and I say never, apologize for the truth. I don't care how many people go against you. I don't care what backlash you receive because of it. You may have used some strong words and everything, and I would say maybe my words weren't meant to be as strong, but the principle of what I said is the truth. And I'm going to follow up Rush Limbaugh and say, Miss Sandra Fluke, you are a slut and a plant and a deceiver. I hope I have caused you some trouble today. You folks have a good day.